Welcome to project presentation of AutoDL. We are working under the guidance of Dr. Nupurgiri, HOD of CMPN department. Building deep learning models require good amount of coding skills, management of libraries, choice of programming language, and expertise in multiple domains including but not limited to mathematics, deep learning, and statistics. This makes the process tedious and taxing. There is a need for a system where deep learning models can be made effortlessly. That's where AutoDL comes in. We observed that code to build DL model follows a standard structure which can be broadly classified into 4 categories: imports, data input and pre-processing, model creation, and evaluation. The work proposes to automate this core structure and provide an easy-to-use GUI interface to the users. With the model, we plan to generate the underlying code along with the use of its required libraries. Our primary focus would be Python programming language and Keras framework. The generated code could be modified by the users, and all tasks related to training should be managed on the platform itself. Our platform can be broadly classified into these 5 blocks. Starting with the front-end GUI interface, the users have to go through an authentication process. Post-authentication, they can create projects with the following information. Task, pre-processing, hyperparameters, and model architecture are taken from the users and sent to the AutoDL backend, where the backend converts it into an intermediate representation and passes it to DLMML. DLMML is Deep Learning Model Markup Language. It is a tool which converts intermediate representation and generates Python code. This code is then further used for model training.
Welcome to the demo of AutoDL version 1. This is a landing page where we can find all our projects. Let's create a new project. Here we are going to classify between cats and dogs. The language we are going to use will be Python and library as Keras. The task will be of classification. Let's give the data directory and name the output file as test.py. Here we have successfully created a new project named Cats vs Dogs. Now let's create a model for Cats vs Dogs classification. This is a model building interface which also takes in hyperparameters. Let's start creating a model by adding a convolution layer, a max pooling layer, a flatten layer, followed by a couple of dense layers. Let's give in the parameters to these layers. Let's proceed to input hyperparameters. Let's use the optimizer to be SGD, a loss to be binary cross entropy, the number of epochs to be 5, and keep the learning rate default, and choose the verbosity to 2. Let's use the metric accuracy and save the graphs. We can generate the code from here. This is a source code file which is generated for a model. As you can see, the number of filters is 32 and the rest of the parameters as we have given in the input. Let's start training a model. As you can see, the training has started successfully and we can monitor the progress on terminal. This concludes our demo video. Thank you.
Moving on to the results section, this graph shows the time taken in minutes by 10 different users to make a cats vs dogs classifier. As you can see, even the maximum time taken is just 12 minutes. We compared AutoDL's features with similar products against the following parameters. User interface. We provide a GUI and don't expect the users to write code. Customizable model. The control is in the hands of the users. They can customize their models. Code generation. We generate the code along with the DL models. Easy to use. As you can see, our interface is quite easy to use. Data locality. Data locality means that the data is local with the user. We do not expect them to upload the data to our platform. We also provide transfer learning and deployment facilities. We plan to add the following features to our platform. Multiple data type support. Right now only images are supported. Suggestion of layers. It means given the current configuration of the DL model, what could be a next valid layer? And finally, job orchestration.